Welcome to the first Life Academy alumni webinar for these 4 programs we have been organized in energy and environment. We are still in the same building for all of you who have not been here for a long time. We started with our international training programs back in 1995. It has been in the same building since then in downtown Karlstad. This photo is from the other day. It had been snowing a bit again. We have a quite long winter, a little bit up and down in temperature. Now it's March, as you know, middle March. So we are waiting for the spring, and hopefully it will look like this in 1.5 months. So we are looking forward to springtime and of course the summertime. Yes, who are on board today in the Life Academy? This team, we start with Christina, who is now since a bit more than 2 years our managing director. Please, Christina, some of the participants know you from energy efficiency and of course from the recent renewable energy program. But for anyone else, please tell about yourself.
So very nice to meet all of you, and very nice especially to see a lot of familiar faces from the energy efficiency program and the renewable energy program. And I've been working together with Life Academy for about 10 years actually, but the last 2.5 years as CEO for Life Academy. So I'm still working with the programs, but also trying to run the company in a successful way together with the team that you see on the slide. So very nice to meet all of you, and looking forward to this session together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christina. Bo Gilgren, that's me, and Therese, you will see and hear more about us during this webinar. Sarah, many of you know Sarah. She is not on board today, I believe, but she is a project manager and also one of our environmental specialists. Sophie, many of you have met her. She's our program administrator, and I think most of you have met our management expert, project management expert, CG Larsson. And Louise, you are fairly new. You started just before the COVID period. Please.
Yes, that's right. I started in 2020. But my name is Louise, and I'm the communication officer at Life Academy. I've met the participants from REP, at least, Renewable Energy Program, but a few of the other alumni as well. So I'm very excited to be here today.
And we are very happy to have you on board because Louise is managing so well our digital sessions. So we feel all calm when she's on board. And then we have Oscar. I don't think he's on board today in the webinar, but he has been with us a bit more than 1 year. And recently he became a father. So he is also busy in a new phase of his life. Lars Hallen, the founder, is still active as the owner and also taking part now and then in some sessions. And I saw just before we started that the chairman of the board of Life Academy, Urban, is here. Urban, can you just say a word?
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. I'm very happy to be able to join this seminar. And I've been the chairman of the board since 2015. And today I will just be a curious spectator and listen to all the wise words that I hope will come from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Urban. And welcome. Yes, we go on. So why do we meet? Yes, you saw in the invitation that we like to strengthen the network, and it's a fantastic network that we have of previous participants to our training programs. And on the map in the background, you see all the countries represented in our training programs throughout the years. So we have a lot of participants from Latin America, from Africa, from Asia, and also Eastern Europe. And one purpose is, of course, to share gained experience and lessons learned, but also to open up for discussions on joint activities and prospects for future collaboration between participants, but also between you and Life Academy. And we like to share updates from both our side and from alumni.
So, what will we be doing today, Bo? I think I will go through the agenda briefly, and then we can come back to the different parts later on. Well, right now we're having the welcome and introduction, and we will have check-in in smaller groups. We will have breakout rooms where you could have a chit-chat with some of the people that are here. You will also hear updates from Life Academy. What have we been doing? I mean, some of you, it's been quite a number of years since you have been talking to Life Academy, so it's time to get some updates. Then we will get some updates from 2 of our alumni, and there will, of course, be time for comments and questions and answers. And then we will look into possible follow-up activities and prospect for the future, which we are, of course, interested in because we like you so much. So let's see if we can come up with something interesting to do together in future. And then at approximately 3:30, we will have a closure for the SET program. But for those of you who want, you are more than welcome to continue for another half an hour in what we call the Open Cafe, which will be an informal digital mingling in groups that we will randomly put together. So you will have a chance of talk more to each other. And then at 4 o'clock, we will try to close. We will see how that works, but maybe at 4 o'clock, this will happen Swedish time. I know this will be different times since we are having people from all over the world, but this is the time that we're having right here. So you could see from in the beginning that we had a number of different people from different programs, and I thought it would be very interesting to see which Life alumni have we invited. Well, we have invited the local environmental management, the LEM, participants, and this program was organized during the period of 1995 to 2006. And since I started in 2003, I actually met some of the LEM people here, and I saw Giovanni and Leobardo, among others, that was from the LEM period. And then we had another program which was called Wind Power Development and Use, which we organized during the period of 2009 and to 2015. And during this time, we made a lot of new acquaintances and a number of trips to India, where we explored the wonderful, interesting things with wind power in India. Then we followed up with another program, which was called Energy Efficiency Use and Planning. And we organized this program during the period of 2011 until 2016. And I saw some familiar faces from there as well, which was very nice, of course. Now we are working on a program that is called the Renewable Energy Program. And it started in 2019 and will continue until next year. So we will have had 4 renewable energy programs with participants from different African countries. Yes. Let's see. So now it's time for you to mingle, and we will soon send you out in different breakout rooms. And during 10 minutes, you will have the chance to talk to about 4 or 5 people in groups, and you will have, as I said, 10 minutes, and we will do this randomly. So you don't know who you will end up with. Maybe it's someone you know, maybe it isn't. But when you are in this breakout room, please introduce yourself with name, which country you come from, which program you attended and which year, and what you're doing right now. And if everybody could do this, you will then have a little bit more time to discuss further what you feel could be interesting. So now I will leave the technical parts to Louise to send you out into breakout rooms. And you will get a question if you would like to join these breakout rooms. And then please accept and please enjoy.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope it was nice to meet in smaller groups.
Very nice.
Very nice chat in our groups, and we are all, I think, very curious to meet more people. But this is the way we do it this time, and then we will, of course, plan for more network activities. We will give all a short update of what is going on at the moment in Life Academy, and also look back at least a couple of years. During the COVID period, we went digital. We were all not really as many. We were really not prepared what was happening due to the COVID pandemic. So we planned and we were waiting, and in the end we find out, no, we need to proceed. Therefore we went very much digital in some of our programs. Yes, this slide, thank you. So we went digital during the period of COVID, and even when we were celebrating our 25th years anniversary back in 2000. This is how we celebrated together online with some participants that took their time. 25 years, and now we are heading at 30 years in a couple of years more. Yes. Therese mentioned that now we are having one program ongoing still. It's the Global Capacity Development Program on Renewable Energy that we also call RIP, with 4 programs, RIP 1, 2, 3, and number 4 is now ongoing as the 4th and last program. It's targeting 8 African countries: Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique. And in addition to this, we also are running a program specifically tailor-made for Uganda. That started last year, and we are finalizing it this year. We also have a cooperation with the Swedish Institute. It's a government agency here in Sweden. And we are working with a management program on sustainable business for 7 Asian countries: Bangladesh, China, India, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. This is ongoing, and we will continue a couple of years more. As always, we are open for making tailor-made programs at customers' needs and at customers' own cost. And one example is sustainable project management. And this is a photo from the certification ceremony for this program in Cambodia. It was a private business school who asked for our services. And our main teacher in this program is C.J. Larson, and you can see him on the screen at the back. This was also run online during the COVID period. And we also have recently started a project called JITA project. It's a collaboration with partners in Albania, Bosnia, and Italy. And this project aims to develop tools and new forms of training schemes to empower youth workers to become energy advisors, with the purpose to make smart energy transition of rural areas in these countries. And finally, we have also recently made project applications with partners in a couple of countries in Eastern Europe. One is about women empowerment, and the other one is about transparency and human rights. Yes, apart from the programs from where the alumni are coming today, we have also during the years been running 2 different IT programs. The first program, ITM, Information Technology Management, we organized during 1999 to 2007. And ICT in Education was organized from 2012 to 2017. We have in total around 500 alumni from these programs, and we have had a couple of similar alumni webinars. I think that is all for me with updates. So I hand over to you, Therese.
Thank you very much. Well, now it is time for our first Mentimeter. And we will see if Louise will share the information about this Mentimeter. We will have 2 questions we would like you to correspond to. And do you want me to share again, Louise, or do you want me to?
No, I'm just sending the link in the chat first.
Okay, so Louise will send you the link, so it's easy for you to copy this and put it into some sort of internet window. And we will have 2 questions, and they are soon coming up on the screen. Yes, we have these 2 questions. What issues are on the agenda in your country regarding energy and environment? That is one question. And then the second one is, do you see any specific need for training activities in these areas? And what we really would like you to do, when you have entered the menti.com and use the code, before you start writing your answer to these questions, it's really good if you can write your name and country first, so we know who gave us this information. Usually the Mentimeter is you can't see who been writing the answer, but please do so. Please write your name and your country and then correspond to these questions. So what we would like to know from you is what issues are on the agenda in your country regarding energy and environment. And then, do you see any specific need for training activities in these areas? Because the best way of finding out what is going on in your countries are, of course, getting it from you. What is going on in your country? I will have a hard time being quiet when you're writing, but I'm eager to see what type of answers that will come up here, or ideas, of course.
Is the link working for everyone?
Good question.
For me, yes.
Yeah, it is working well.
Yes, thank
Good.
you. When people are writing here, I must say that I really, really enjoyed this first breakout room that we had. It was so nice to talk a little bit more with people. So we have our
Yeah,
first...
we were expecting more people from the same group, but unfortunately,
Yes.
not possible. Yeah, I couldn't see any of the colleagues.
Oh,
Those
okay.
were together with our group. Yeah.
So Matthew is writing in Tanzania. there's an increasing share of renewable energy in electricity generation. Training is needed in the planning and development of large-scale renewable energy plants, wind and solar photovoltaic. Yes, yeah. So please, again, very good when you write your name and country, just like Beimnet did from Ethiopia. He's writing, since most of people are living in off-grid areas, it is very important to have such training on how to use renewable energy like solar energy and so on to address their needs, which is very good. And Marvet is writing that renewable energy and climate change adaptation need for technical and policy development. Indeed. And Rian is writing from South Africa. A large rollout on renewable energy is supported by government and now also private developments for wheeling environmental concerns are addressed. Very good. And Kudsi is writing from Zimbabwe, working on regulations and standards around energy efficiency and renewable energy. Yes, there is a need for capacity building in developing policy-related issues and standards. Very interesting. And then someone wrote e-mobility and wind energy regulations in CI and management of the same financing models for renewable energy projects. Training is needed. And Diego from Guatemala is writing, I think we need training in renewable energy in rural areas and waste management. Very good. I missed some on the right hand side here, but so Anuradi from Sri Lanka is writing issues on energy security, financial issues in achieving renewable energy targets, training on public-private partnerships. I agree. And then Leobardo is writing from Mexico, energy transition and alternative energy policies strength. Yeah. And then we have Prakash from Nepal. Welcome, Prakash.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Nice to see you after a very long time.
Yes, very nice. So energy storage and writing difficult words for me to read here.
Decarbonization.
Oh, thank you very much. Of transport and agriculture sector. Possibly also hydrogen is a potential solution. Technical and risk might... Management, sorry, training is needed on hydrogen. Very good, Prakash. Thank you very much. And then Samuel is writing from Tanzania. Agenda, clean cooking. Training needs is awareness on cost of cooking and options. Cooking versus other sources. Very good. And then we have Susie from Indonesia is writing renewable energy, conservation energy, waste management, and climate change are big issues in my country. We need training in related issues, also how to raising awareness. For sure. And then we have Lucia from Mexico, writing, we need to reinforce renewable energies. At this time, national policies have been focused on hydrocarbons mainly, solar, wind power, and so on. Yes. Then we have Dr. Guppy. He's writing from India. He's saying that India is in a quick transition into renewable energy from fossil fuels, which we are the rest of the world is very grateful for. Thank you. Definitely, we need training for renewable energy integration to the grid and technical trainings on different renewable energy systems. I couldn't agree more.
I think maybe we don't have time to read them all.
Okay. Well, I like to read all of them, but for those of you who are still writing, please finish. And we will collect all of your comments and we will save them and use them in the best possible way to see if we can, work on this and maybe get some projects going. You never know. This is what we're hoping for.
Thank you so much for your inputs. It's very valuable, and it's really some seeds for prospects for the future. Now we will listen to a couple of LIFE alumni from 2 different programs, and they will just shortly share some examples of lessons learned and what they are working with since they were here in Sweden for training. We start with Lucia Marukin from Mexico. You took part in LEM 1998. It was actually my first group also, and I had joined Life Academy. Thank you very much, Lucia, for making it possible. I know that you are out in the field in Mexico, and when we started, it was 6:00 a.m., and you have been preparing this presentation from there. So please, the floor is yours, and we will share your presentation from here. And please go on. Your floor.
Thanks a lot. Yes, I've been working out of town yesterday. It was quite difficult, but well, finally we are here. I'm very, very glad to stay with you. And first of all, I'd like to thank you very much for all the support that Life Academy has given us to our training. I was telling you it has a great impact on my life, both personally and professionally, and has an important impact on the objectives of my project in both areas. I'm from the 1998 generation, the LEM generation. Next, please. Okay. The first and general objective was in 1998. I was working for the government at that time. And when I returned, I was asked to promote the development of the local Agenda 21, mainly in the municipalities of my state in Puebla, especially in one municipality called Tehuacan, that is the second most important in the state. I gave many talks on the topics that we studied in Sweden during the 3 consecutive years to schools, associations, universities, etc. Next, please. Afterwards, I started working as a private consultant since 2001 up to date. We formed an interdisciplinary group with project leaders from different specialties. The idea was to develop environmental friendly, sustainable projects both at the industrial and governmental level. So we formed 2 agendas, we call the gray and green agenda, focused to industrial sector and rural sector. The topics that we have been studying are related to solar energy, rainwater harvesting systems, waste management, treatment plants, bioremediation, and automated separated waste management with garbage plants. Here we have an illustration of the garbage plants we've been promoting since then. In the green agenda, we've been participating in reforestation projects in important areas for recharging underground water. Most of them have been in natural protected areas, like the volcanoes that are surrounding our state, and as well as biodiversity studies in urban parks with the purpose of decrease private areas. In this case, we have the support of Life Academy for developing an interesting, a very, very nice story in the Parque El Ameyal. And we are very happy for that. It's been an example because we have a lack of state program of territorial ecological planning, and it's urgent to conserve priority areas. Another example has been the promotion of waste recycling projects at a larger scale, converting in biomass projects. At this point, the strategic alliance with environmental vanguards companies has been very, very important. Now we have approximately 10 leader sustainable enterprises working with us. Next, please. We also promote the enterprises to be socially responsible with the reforestation and working with the street children and giving them and donating clothes, books, toys, and promoting the responsible adoption of stray dogs and cats. At this time, we promote the integration of a group of environmentalists from several states of the country, formed by more than 70 specialists, biologists, engineers, journalists, educators, all of them with a high academic and technical profile. This group has been taken into account as a technical advisory group for the opinion of important issues, mainly related to water, such as the contamination and conservation of the Atoyac River, and unfortunately, the second most polluted river in Mexico, and it's here in Puebla. This group intends to conform as an NGO to issue legislative opinions before the State Congress on environmental legislation, for instance, applying general law of environmental responsibility, which considers certain environmental faults as criminal cases, okay, which have been the problems that we faced. Next, please. Lack of financing is the first one. We've been working by our own, mainly. Over-regulation of procedures, government, because it delays a lot the results. Lack of environmental awareness is very hard to work with people that don't want to hear any about environmental issues. Corruption is, I think, is the biggest. And the technological dependence, mainly with the United States. Next, please. Okay, I gave Boo a brief video related to the work we made in the park. I don't know if we have time to listen or some minutes. If you want.
Yeah, yes, you mentioned one project, El Ameyal, and I think we will not have time to show it now. It's a very nice video, but we everyone needs to have a little bit time for it. So what we will do is to share this on the material available for everyone after this webinar. And there is two versions, one in Spanish and one in English, right? So we can provide both of them as convenient. Thank you very much, Lucia. It's open for questions and comments. And one question I have to you is that when you came here in 1998, I remember that you said, well, Agenda 21 and sustainable development, not many people know about this in my country. Have you seen changes? And what are the changes in awareness?
Okay, yes. I've seen an increase in awareness. Definitely, we were the first people that start talking about this topic, and I think these generations are different from us. They are very active and they are very focused on some topics. Definitely, there is a great difference.
Thank you. And at that time, we all talked about Agenda 21. Now we talk about the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So it's a wider perspective now. And I feel that many now are aware and talk and work with Sustainable Development Goals. Please, the floor is open for comments and questions to Lucia. And Therese, you may have a look at the chats. Are there any questions or comments coming up in the chat?
So far, we haven't any questions for Lucia, but maybe we was not so clear that to encourage them to write questions to Lucia. But please do if you have some questions regarding what she said in her presentation or other related questions.
And if we can manage it, you are also welcome to raise your hand so we can see if you like to
speak directly. Yeah.
Speak directly.
Yes.
It's not a question, just a comment, but thank you, Lucia. I think it's a common common problem in some countries of Latin America, the contamination you show in that river, especially in mining or oil industries with rivers or some piece of lands. And the problem that we face is, I think, is similar also. The problems that you pointed out, the facing when the industry itself, with how the government take the problem and the awareness. And I agree totally what the young generations are ahead of us and is moving and pushing for the governments. I think to empower the young generations is a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Anyone else? Comments? Leobardo, you are also working in the same country, right? In Mexico, and I know you have been very active in the environment field. Any comments from your side?
Well, yes. First of all, it's very nice to meet you and to see you all live. Well, I've been working for the government for 20 years, and now I'm working for the academy at National University and Metropolitan University. But I also seen increase in the interest in Mexican people from Green Agenda. It's very active right now. We have also a lot of big issues in this government. Now, currently, we are constructing a train at the southeast of Mexico in the Yucatan Peninsula, and it's been very controversial, that issue, because it doesn't have the appropriate permissions yet, but it's ongoing and it's getting done already. We have really, really big problems about contamination and corruption, and we're striving, trying to get through them.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more comments or questions before we go on to Africa? So please, Matthew, many of you participants in wind power programs and energy efficiency program, and not least the last RIP program. No, Matthew?
Yeah, Bo?
Please. Yes, please.
Sorry. Maybe we can say thank you very much, Lucia, for your presentation. It was very nice listening to you and to the comments given to you. Sorry. So, sorry, Bo.
Muchas gracias, Lucia, and especially that you could
Gracias.
wake up so early. And good luck.
Gracias por su apoyo.
Thank you, and good luck in your field work. I know you are working out there. Thanks. Thank you so much. Over to Matthew. Please introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Boy, you'll have to present my slides. Thank you. I am Matthew Matimbwe from Tanzania, and I am renewable energy engineer. I participated at Life Academy in the program of wind power for the year 2010. I'm happy to have this opportunity to be in this webinar because I've seen faces that were in the same intake with me in the same program. This is a good opportunity. So next slide, please. Yeah, first of all, I want to share with you a few things that I gained through the program that I participated at Life Academy. Actually, the main subject was about wind power planning, and this subject was very well dealt and presented. We had the opportunity of studying different wind schemes. So the one you see in the picture, this was in Kanyakumari in southern India. So we had studied schemes that were developed in Europe, but also I had the opportunity of learning how the wind power is developed in the country where most of the challenges in energy are resembling to challenging we are facing here in Tanzania. Another knowledge that I gained through Life Academy was communication skills. The communication skills enabled me now to be a very good advocate of renewable energy and energy efficiency, where I'm leading advocates, especially with the government, to develop different policies, acts, regulations, standards that enables the development of renewable energy and energy efficiency in Tanzania. Another a big tool that till today gives me strength is networking. I had the opportunity of networking with a lot of people, especially in my group. The network that I built during my study at Life Academy is still very, very useful even today. The people I met during the training are the ones who are even supporting my work. There are a lot of things I have achieved in my work, but they've been supported by my friends with whom I studied at Life Academy. I can just mention very few who are now in this group. People like Rian from South Africa had helped me very much when I discussed with him about different renewable energy regulations. And my friend Gotwi from India, he supported also when we were developing in Tanzania guidelines on installing solar street lights. And even recently he has supported me in giving the experience as how to manage vandalism of renewable energy. Yeah, the vandalism is cutting across in our developing countries. So the problems India experience, the same problems we are experiencing in our region of East Africa. So it was a very good opportunity to learn. And this is only possible because I had the opportunity of learning and connecting to other people coming from the other parts of the world. Thank you. Next. Yeah, now I want only to share with you very few success that I have contributed to this country. It's not that it's my only work from only alone, but I contributed to this. It's a teamwork to reach this success, but I can say that knowledge I gained at Life Academy contributed to this success. For example, here in Tanzania, the majority of households are still in the off-grid. And the use of renewable energy as off-grid solutions is very high. You can see that currently 33% of households in Tanzania are electrified using off-grid renewable energy solutions, and especially solar photovoltaic. But also we have started developing wind power. So in the photo you see, this is the very first small wind power farm of 2.4 megawatt that has been developed here in Tanzania by private company to show the government that renewable can also contribute to power generation. So there have been several initiatives of developing renewable energy here in Tanzania, but currently in the megawatt size, you'll find that hydro is leading, and then followed by solar, but wind, the mega projects are already underway. For the initiatives that have been being done in our country has motivated our government, especially the government that is being led by woman, Madam Samia, that has set the target of increasing the renewable generation by 1.5 gigawatt from the technologies of wind, geothermal, and solar by 2025. So these are some of the success I can mention that has been contributed by learning at Life Academy. Last but not least, that I want to share with you is that we have managed to convince the government of Tanzania to provide incentives to private renewable energy projects that are less or equal to 10 megawatt. All of this to support off-grid solutions. Next. Yeah. Now, next is a question and answer. I had only 80 minutes to speak. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Therese, have you checked? I see there is one question on the chat. Should we start with that? From Sung Ham, Vietnam. What are the supporting mechanisms or incentives for renewable energy projects under 10 megawatts? Question to
thank you.
Matthew.
Yeah, our government has a special scheme of levy collecting money from every liter of petrol people are buying, and also from kilowatt hour of electricity we are buying. And this money is used to support developers of renewable energy. So the money is collected from petrol product to support the development of renewable energy. And also we have some funds mobilized by the Minister of Energy to support renewable energy developers. For example, we have now what we call result-based financing. And through this, for people who are developing mini grids, for each connection of house you make, you'll get a grant of $1,000 US to help you to offset your investment. And also we have tax incentives. For example, if you are importing main solar equipment, solar batteries, solar panels, inverters, charger controllers, such products are imported at 0 rate. You don't pay neither import duty nor VAT. So you see that this is a very big incentives. And currently, the government will bring another incentives of RBF through the cooperation with the World Bank to promote solar home systems in the areas where grid cannot reach. For example, we have a regulation in Tanzania that grid is not allowed to be extended to national parks, reserves, and deltas. Now you will find that in this area, there are people are living. The good example, Maasai who are living with animals in Ngorongoro crater. So in this area, you find that the national grid is not allowed to be extended in the national park, but there are people who are living there. The only solution will be to provide them with off-grid solutions. So the government is supporting such communities with solar home systems. That's why it has put such the tax incentives to enable the off-grid remote and rural population to access sustainable energy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthew. We have a couple of minutes more for comments or questions, and I know we have on board several from wind power programs. Rian, South Africa. We have Gopi, of course, from India, and Sergio, I can also see on board from Moldova. Any of you who like to comment?
Matthew, I have a question, a quick question. Anyway, congratulations to your great work doing to your country and your involvement into the renewable energy expansion in your country. And my question is, you have been doing a lot of off-grid programs, and along with that, you have took awareness campaigns, just like a women empowerment program to educate them about the importance of renewable energy. I have seen a lot through social media, through your updates. Can you have a quick response on that? How you are doing it?
Yeah, as I've already said before, I'm using network. I have a lot of boys behind me. I only tell them what they have to do, and I'm good to them. I've been helping them even to grow in their career. In this way, I've been very networked with them. Some, they are not even working in the industry of renewable energy. They are working in other sectors. But when I ask them to borrow me their time, most of them, they are very happy to help me. They just tell me, Matthew, okay, you can just speak out. I will take notes. I will prepare the article. I will send to you. You read if it's okay, and then it is published. So this is how I'm working. I don't do all things alone. Otherwise, I won't be sleeping. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you very much, Matthew. I think we should proceed on if there is any more. If there are any more comments or questions.
Again, thank you very much, Matthew. And also for the great comments that we are getting from our participants. It's always very rewarding to listen to these comments that are being made. But now, thank you again, Matthew. Now it's time for us to move on, and we will have our second Mentimeter. And while Louise is preparing this, she is sending you again the link in the chat, and you can find it there if you want to connect directly. She will also very soon share the slide with us so you can see. Because this time we would like to know if there is any lessons learned, good or bad, from your area of work that you would like to share in future follow-up webinars. And why are we asking this? Well, we are very humble, and we know that there is so many brilliant minds that are listening to us right now. So we would like to know if there is any lessons learned, good or bad, from your area of work that you would like to share in follow-up webinars in the future. Because what we would like to do is to have more webinars, and then we would like to have you sharing your experience as we put here. But again, it's very important that you write your name and your country first, and then you write the answers to this question. So, is there any lessons learned, good or bad, from your area of work that you would like to share in follow-up webinars in the future? So don't be shy, just share with us. So I know you're writing now, and we are eager to take part of your answers. The most difficult part is to be silent for a while. But Matthew, he is writing the experience of fossil energy businessmen fighting against renewable energy. Oh, that could be a very interesting topic to have on a future webinar. the experience of fossil energy businessmen fighting against renewable energy. Yeah, you can imagine that they want to fight for their dirty business. But we will fight back with renewable energy solutions, won't we? Very good. We are looking forward to more answers. Goopy is writing, please ensure that the renewable energy projects are sustainable for real solutions. Yes, I'm sure Goopy has a lot of lessons learned from that area that he maybe will be able to share with us in the future. And then someone that we don't know who wrote that differences between developed and developing countries are evident. Some techniques learned in Sweden are not applicable in our countries, which we are a bit aware of. And that could be a lesson learned that is a very interesting topic to speak about. That how should we do our programs even better? Should we only take techniques that are applicable, or should we also show some others that we use here? It could be a very interesting discussion. So Anuradi is writing, let's see, implementation of solar rooftop programs for more renewable energy generation. Very interesting. We're looking forward to listen to that. And Nalin is writing solar rooftop development and barriers in Sri Lanka. Yes, I think Sri Lanka could be very strong on this, and that's why they want to share this, maybe. And then we have Leobardo, who is writing, education is yes, it's a very difficult word for me there. Yes. We have to focus on young minds and share the vision to make it more homogeneous. We must try to build local and regional networks. I couldn't agree more with you, Leobardo. Very, very important. How should we enlighten the young minds and make them come along on the renewable energy path? I think they are very well aware, but of course, we need to share the vision with them.
And Louise and Therese, I believe that the Mentimeter will still be open as long as we continue. So it's possible to supplement and definitely also to come later on directly to us at Life Academy, email, and present ideas you have for upcoming webinars, and especially if you like to share some of your experience and good or bad practices.
Yes. We have one more from Pedro from Chile. He's writing, as Matthew said, it is important to be open and establish links, working together whenever possible. And that is so true. But as Bo mentioned, maybe even if we stop sharing the screen very soon, you can finish if you are writing.
It's
very good.
Time to round up, or do you have anything more, Therese, you'd like to add?
No,
Rounding up?
I'm very happy with all the different comments and presentations that our dear alumni have been giving us. So please, Bo.
Thank you. It's time for rounding up and coming activities. Yes, we do plan for more webinars and also other networking activities, very much depending on your response and your suggestions, how we do this in the best way. And we also welcome more alumni to share their experiences and come up with ideas and prospects for future collaboration and networking. And then we also include, if you have ideas of new training programs, new project collaboration, either between you as alumni from different countries and different parts of the world, or if it's in collaboration with Life Academy. We will be very happy to facilitate, stimulate that, and also, of course, be partners in these possible future projects. And as you know, always when we talk about programs and projects, funding is a central issue. So we should think about that from the very beginning. SIDA has now a bit new target and new objectives. They are not so flexible when we discuss new activities, but we know that you out in the world, in your countries, you also have contacts with other donor and other maybe private partners who can be interesting in this regard. So please, we are very welcome to hear and share and discuss. And one way to communicate in between us is through a new Life Academy alumni group on LinkedIn. Louise, you will mention a little bit about this.
Yes, we recently started a LinkedIn group on for Life Alumni. So we're not many participants there yet, but we're hoping for all of the Life Alumni to join, of course. So it's a tool for you to connect and stay in touch with the Life network, as we've been talking about a lot today. So you can share ideas, lessons learned, and just explore the network. So please join and post learnings and post good or bad. We want as many of you to join as possible. So I just shared the link in the chat. So you just have to send a request and we'll reply.
And Louise, this alumni group, there we are welcoming all participants from all programs, also including the ICT programs that we have been running. So potentially there can be up to 1,800 if we count right.
We hope so. So please also spread, because we're not sure we have all the updated email addresses to everyone. So please spread the word to your Life friends. We want them to join as well. Exactly.
Thank you very much for that. And you are always welcome to contact us directly by email to info@life.se with any kind of questions, suggestions, and comments for the future. So this is the end of this first webinar. It was absolutely great to meet you, and I just feel this is an appetizer for more connection, and of course we like to talk more in different groups, and I know that you have interest in meeting your classmates, and we will see if we also can facilitate this kind of networking online.